The State House of Assembly has reached a 3-point resolution calling on the state government to, through the Ministry of Agriculture and Irrigation Development, to commence immediate regeneration of Etung cocoa estate, including replanting with improved hybrid cocoa varieties. The resolutions were reached after a motion raised by the member for Etung, Honorable Kingsley Ntui, calling on government to commence regeneration of the estate as well as rehabilitation of associated infrastructure. The report.
The resolution presented by the mover, Honorable Kingsley Ntui, calls for the provision of agronomic and technical support to farmers, facilitate access to extension services, as well as impute supply chain, while urging the Ministries of Agriculture as well as Works to undertake urgent rehabilitation of all dilapidated infrastructure within the Etung cocoa belt, like feeder roads, drying platforms, as well as storage facilities. It also calls on the state government to allocate special intervention funds for the regeneration of the Etung cocoa estates.
Etung local government area is widely recognized as the epic center of cocoa production in Cross River State, significantly contributing to the state's internally generated revenue and the livelihood of thousands of citizens across the cocoa value chain. Unfortunately, many of the cocoa estates in Etung, once thriving and productive, have now become overaged, underperforming, and largely neglected, Mr. Speaker. This has led to drastically reduced yields, economic stagnation, and diminishing interest among younger generations in cocoa farming.
Rising in support of the motion, co-sponsors and members informed that cocoa has contributed to the country's gross domestic product as well as the state's internally generated revenue, suing for the rehabilitation of the estate to curb unemployment and generate revenue to give the people a lease of life.
The Speaker, I rise to support the motion moved by Honorable Kingsley Ntui, calling on Cross River State government through the Ministry of Agriculture and Irrigation to commence the rehabilitation, to commence immediate regeneration of the Etung cocoa estate and the rehabilitation of associated infrastructure.
The motion calling on Cross River State government through the Ministry of Agriculture and Irrigation to commence immediate regeneration of cocoa estates. I think it has even stayed so long, should have even come long before now. But I want to also add a little that we all know that that plantation, that estate, has contributed immensely to the GDP of this nation and of course the internally generated revenue of this state.
It's one of the estates in Cross River State that is very viable, that a lot of people are benefiting from. Mr. Speaker, not only the government that is getting revenue from this estate, even the little percentage that is given to the community, the landlord community, every average woman, man, poor or rich, they are benefiting from this estate, Mr. Speaker.
Also speaking, the Speaker, Right Honorable Elvet Ayambem, supported the motion, saying that when productive, the estate will mitigate poverty of the people and advocated the introduction of improved varieties of cocoa seedlings for greater output.
If the farms have been largely generous to us, generous in the sense that they have outlived their usefulness, but then the productivity has not really gone down too badly. So if something can be done, and I'm completely aligning myself with the assertion of the member of Akpabu, who said it's not only about regeneration, but that we should carry out some survey and researches and come up with even more productive and more refined seedlings that can boost the economy of Cross River State. There are good varieties right now that within 2 years we will begin the production, we begin plucking and readily available for exports.
Isiana Wanine reporting.